It's like
We'll do that later.
Blue Agave always had midget wrestling on one of the televisions. You always have Pornhub on.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Can I tell you quickly? I just, as soon as you said midgets, I don't know why this didn't pop into my head earlier. The most disgraceful thing I was ever involved in the radio circuit, there was this traveling gaggle of midgets, and they called themselves midgets, and there were like this troupe, and they would basically degrade themselves for a nominal fee. And one of the things they would do is they would travel with like a pull-behind trailer filled with paintball equipment, and then they would dress up in different kind of character outfits, and then you could take the midgets out in the woods, and they'd hide, and for your fee, you got to hunt them.
Oh, God.
And we did it one year with a local bar down in Whaleyville. I think it's Whaleyville, Maryland. And so, yeah, you went... So it was like the midgets, they would do pro wrestling for like the local pro wrestlers, and they wanted to have like a pre-show kind of thing. And then their other side hustle was you got to midget hunt in whatever woods you wanted to drag them out to and pay them $500 a pop for.
$500 for the whole gang or per midget?
I remember the bar guy being like, our cut was $500, so the radio station paid $500. I don't know how much he paid. Okay, but we essentially paid our share in advertising, so we paid nothing. But I don't know how much they cost completely. But it was first it seemed whimsical and funny until they started getting lit up with fucking neon orange and fucking yellow, and then it got sad very quickly.
Yeah, I'd say.
That sounds pretty good. Like, it just reminds me of a story. Like, there was a kid in Frostburg. I don't know the kid's name. I'm fairly certain he was just an Asian kid, random Asian kid, and he used to come to our Rush Week events because free booze, right?
Right.
And he could kick himself in the forehead. Because he was like everything was proportionate just to the right scope that he could kick himself in the forehead, and we used to get a giggle out of it. So he would do that shit like fucking 20 times in an evening. And I'm fairly certain he was concussed, but he got the drink and we laughed about it. It reminds me a lot of that, quite frankly.
He's in the CTE study. The only good midget little person story I have. Dewey in that Wahoo fraternity. Murray, you lived at the house for a hot minute. They one time they called up a stripper service. All right, it's like, hey, not attached to any strip club, but we want you to come to our house and strip. And they found one that had a couple of short gals. And the deal was they wanted it to pump a keg beer. They wanted to pump a keg and distribute beer. And they're like, wait, what do you want them to do? Like, yeah, we'll provide, if they need a stool or some sort of elevated platform in order to just pump keg beer and fill up our and other partygoers' cups. And they said, no, that's degrading. Like, no, they don't even have to take their clothes off. And they still were like, nah, I don't know. This sounds like a catch.
In some strange parallel world, that does sound degrading. They're willing to take their top off and show their little meat puppets to everybody, but somehow sitting them on a stool to fill up frat boys' beer cups, it does seem a little more degrading.
Well, I think they said, okay, they can take their tops off and do it. And at that point, they weren't interested. It seemed like, no, we're not.
Fine. They can get naked. We'll put up with it.
Shit.